Coming up on tonight's broadcast, the most shocking moments of 2006 in a rollercoaster of nihilism, necrophilia and preposterous pretentiousness. Be prepared to be appalled. Welcome to the colourful world of Bob Clarkson and the most sensational media story of the year, Nikki Watson, as you've never seen her before. Good evening. As the year whimpers to a close, many media outlets fall back on the tired old cost-saving technique of repackaging the news from the year and selling it back to you as some sort of insightful review, much like the following. Already, 2006 is clearly one of the most shocking years ever. Clint was KO'd and Steve was stung. Nikki had her bussies pierced, and kangaroos boxed in China. It's been a shocker.
Look at this one here.
As predicted, reality TV took barrel scraping to a shocking new low, with cantankerous cleaners rubbing their fingers in muck.
That's so sticky. This kitchen is filthy.
The shows weren't just taking the piss, they were drinking it too. Literally. Even more shocking when Peggy and Dom ate some used tampons.
I can't believe I'm gonna do this.
Well, that's what it looked like. Rodney had nowhere to hide when he dropped his ballroom broad. But worse was to come in the form of Candy Lane.
The beach rehearsals, was that your idea?
Yeah, that was my idea.
Well, do you prefer doing it in the water, Johnny?
In the water?
The lip.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Well, it's not as dangerous, is it? Right.
No,
Exactly.
I know you dance with the Candy Lane dancers. And, you know, working with Candy Lane, do you think she looks a bit manly?
No, not at all.
Dave.
Candy, I actually say this. I want to say this. Candy Lane is the most amazing person.
Yeah, but do you think she could possibly be a man?
Dave, stop.
Candy Lane
just
is
asking these
amazing.
questions.
Sadly, even Fane couldn't save the Sugar Shack. We gawped in shocked wonder at the second successful face transplant, this time in China, home to the wonderful Animal Olympics. Meanwhile, in America, a cat was born with two faces.
I was playing outside in the rain. Once I came in, I saw that there was a two-faced cat that my mom was picking up.
There was more animal madness in May when Charlotte Dawson's hair and her dog were embroiled in a bitter battle with hairdresser Gary Rogers. The tension was due to the hair extensions. "He raped my head," said Dawson, claiming that the hairdresser had caused her to go bald. Rogers took legal action against the former beauty for some $2,000 in unpaid bills. And then, most shockingly of all, he accused her dog Harper of shitting all over his flat. The matter was later settled out of court, but not before Charlotte issued this 6-page press release, believed to be one of the longest ever released in the Southern Hemisphere. And I'm now going to read that press release in its entirety, so if you've videotaped or my-skied this program, now would be a good time. 2 bald patches appearing at the base of my neck, about the size of 20-cent pieces. It's important to speak out. This is the reason for this rather long and detailed release. They sold the handbag, but weren't allowed to sell this security footage of Tana twanged at a Wellington bar.
The left one, the prosthetic
This
one.
man even put his leg up for sale.
I got an ulcer about the size of 50-cent piece and it wouldn't go away. It took about 3.5 years, tried everything, and so I asked them to amputate.
But Trade Me put the kibosh on the sale because
One of our terms and conditions is that you can't sell body parts.
now Shane has a new plan.
Get it embalmed, and use it as a showpiece or put it on the mantelpiece or, you know, use it as a joke piece at barbecues, put it on the table next to the salad, things like that, you know.
He may not have known how to operate a machine gun, but Zakawi really pissed off America. So much so, they offered $40 million for his capture. But in the end, they decided to do the job themselves.
With a 500-pound bomb on the target.
And they got him. And the guy who lives next door, and the family across the road, and the old lady upstairs, and her cat. The Koreans were less effective, but did manage to kill several hundred mullet and a basking shark. Meanwhile, the leader of the free world was proving himself to be all class.
So you're going to ask that question with those shades on? No, I'm interested in the shade look, seriously.
All right, I'll keep it then.
For the viewers, there's no sun.
The man, of course, turned out to be legally blind. Sport continued to be fertile ground for shockingness. From South American football fun to trans-Tasman trotting. Like the rest of us, Jerry Collins had a guts full of silly dreadlocks and tried to scalp Smith. Meanwhile, Winston had a mildly shocking meltdown in Washington.
Free trade is our top. Free trade is our top.
Excuse me, Senator, I want to call a halt to this press conference because we've got discussions.
Okay.
And it was 2 questions they asked for. We don't want to go back on a word, do we, gentlemen?
No, not at all. But that would give you some heart, obviously, Mr. Peters. What the...
No. Excuse me. Look, I told you you'd have a press conference after this.
Okay.
Not
Okay,
before.
guys. Thanks.
Stick to it.
Don't you push me. I didn't touch you. Yes, you did.
Still stunned after being shockingly shoved by Soper, Winston went on to recreate a scene from Basic Instinct with Condoleezza Rice. Shockingly, he was caught looking between her legs. Not once, but twice. 2006 was also the year of the Gollywog. No one was surprised when a Gollywog made a comedic appearance on Extras. But you don't really expect to see a Gollywog turning up on a road safety commercial. Now, we haven't re-edited this ad in any way, but we have added a sound effect to help you identify the shots that contain a Gollywog.
I had a car in front of me. They suddenly decided that they were going to turn right. I hadn't seen that they'd done that until I came over the hill. Made the decision that I didn't have enough time to brake. The only option was to try ducking down the left, coming back up on the bridge. And that's what I did. Without the training, I never would have had the confidence to make that decision and follow it through. So yes, it definitely saved a few lives that day.
Holden Advanced Driver Training.
Tame Iti had his day in court following his shocking shotgun shenanigans, possibly causing Leighton Smith to spill his Pinot Noir all over his lemon-coloured lazy boy. One News illustrated the shocking stupidity of TV psychologists.
Texting could well be the bubonic plague of this millennium.
Let's just put that statement to the test. Texting can hurt your thumbs, fuck up your spelling, and those alerts are annoying. But the bubonic plague causes inflammation of the lymph nodes, causes a slow, painful death, and has killed 300 million people.
Texting could well be the bubonic plague of this millennium.
From Dennis Conner to Cheeky Darky via the panty handshake, one man has done more for Kiwi shocking moments than any other. In his twilight years, Paul Holmes continues to prove that the falling tree is still shocking, even when there's no one there to watch it.
What do they do in Kalgoorlie?
There's nothing to do but Paul.
In between the though.
There was more talk of fucking when he met Hef and his Playboy bunnies.
Is it group sex?
Sometimes, sure.
Are you very active sexually, all of you?
Yeah.
And when Holmes wheeled out Wing, it was as if his other guest, TV psychic Jeanette Wilson, was in direct communication with Elvis himself. And then it got worse.
Eyes sparkling, hands dancing, living in a world without sound. She was young, she was sexy, She was full of life, capturing the young man's heart with her dancing hands. He was a lucky man.
He was. Fantastic.
A truly shocking moment occurred on Friday the 8th of September when an 18-year-old from Western Springs in Auckland became the first New Zealander to be tasered. The pigs launched a PR blitz which included tasering themselves.
Stay on the ground! Roll over on your front, put hands behind your back.
Ironically, actual pigs were used in earlier tests.
The special MX taser can even stop aggressive large animals without injury. The M26 has been used to safely subdue emotionally disturbed persons.
Great fun for the cops, but as this video released by the anti-taser lobby illustrates, it's not so good if you end up on the other end of the wire.
Get out of the car now, or I'm going to tase you. Get out of the car now, or I'm going to tase you. I'm going to tell you one more time. I'm going to tell you one more time. Get out of the car. Get out of the car, or I'm going to tase you.
The next street off the secret.
Put your hands behind your back. Do it now. Do it now or you're going to get tased again. Do it now. Do it now.
Shockingly, the future arrived this year in the form of an internet TV channel. And when it comes to wasting time at work, YouTube is right up there with ciggy breaks and meetings involving a whiteboard. And while most of it is shockingly useless, like this guide to opening a beer bottle with a piece of paper, some of it was shockingly good. Whether it be voyeuristic violence or telecommunications tomfoolery.
Telecom have tricked us and that's really fucked.
There was fun for all the family.
Can I have a sip of wine now?
Yes, you can.
Oh, you've got to be kidding. I don't know, Mark. You know, do you watch the rugby or do you have sex? I mean, what comes up for you? Which one do you do?
But YouTube has a downside too. American kids show host Melanie Martinez lost her job after this clip surfaced on the website.
I know my mom worries about me. She's afraid I'll do too much too soon. That's why she got me this. And Mom showed me how to use it. I knew boys could wait. Now I can have my fun, and Mom doesn't have to worry. Vibrators, the smart choice for your future.
Drug shockers included this guy, who claimed he'd taken 40 party pills before going for a drive. Unlikely, because this is what it could look like after just 10 party pills. After 20, things start to get really ugly. At 30 pills, you actually calm down for a few minutes before going Burko, and then finally losing the use of your legs. Toddy came back to face the music as the celebrity drug scandal dragged on into its second year. And because of the ongoing publicity, TVNZ's Spin Doctors took the unusual step of issuing a list of all its staff and contractors who had never been anywhere near drugs.
This is the full list. Barbara Drever.
Is that it? What? Is that it?
Is it on the cover?
Thank you, that's all I've got to say. Thank you, sorry.
But Drever, the One News reporter for the Pacific, was later removed from the list after it was revealed that she'd attended several late-night carver sessions. Then complaints flooded in when Mark Sainsbury's cock was clearly visible on About Now.
Even with my eyesight, I could clearly see more of what was in Mr. Sainsbury's slacks than I needed to. Shame on you, TVNZ.
We just had some fun. I worked with some kids in a
Then
workshop
Pongia
and
parked
we made these sorts
on
of
Good
things.
Morning.
So we got
Buzzy
this
bee?
little, little buzzy bee.
Not
like
once,
this. These
but
are, I don't know
twice.
what kind of pine cones these are. I'm sure lots of people will be able to.
Anyway,
I don't know what to say about that, really. Anyway, we'll just carry
He
on.
later blamed Astar's beans. Still to come. Around the World with Nikki Watson. A shocking update to this year's current affairs sexy, salacious, sensational sensation. It's a tantalising, tit-tastic tabloid triumph. When 2020 aired its hour-long Nikki Watson special earlier this year, the nation ground to a halt, and the ratings went through the roof as busty Nikki spilled her guts to Hayden Jones. It's the first locally made 2020 story to be played internationally, and since it aired here on July 6th, the story's been rebroadcast in Fiji, Australia, South Africa, and just last week, in Iran. It was searing investigative journalism at its best, as 2020's cub reporter Hayden Jones went for the jugular.
Did you lose your virginity at a young age?
No.
And then moved down to the chest.
Now, your breasts, are they real?
No, they're not real.
By the end, we knew more about Nikki's breasts than we did about Nikki. But oh well, it was a great excuse to show nipple piercing. But if this sort of thing was shocking for us, imagine what they thought in Iran.
سلام بینندگان عزیز. در نیوزیلند او جزوی از پیروزی‌های به دست آورده شوهرش به حساب می‌آید و به شهرت پرستی معروف است. در بهشتی کوچک به اسم نیوزیلند مانکنی موفق به نام نیکی واتسون به مشهوریت لورد ارنست رادرفورد میباشد.
This broadcast on Iran's Al Alam satellite news channel screened to over 12 million people. Ratings 2020's New Zealand makers could only dream of.
در روش غذا دادن آنها به سگ‌های خانگی خود.
And joining us now live from Tehran is our Iranian correspondent Marsa Attasi. I understand there's been a big response to this documentary in Iran, Marsa.
Yes, the Nikki Watson documentary has been one of the most watched broadcasts in Iran. Very popular, but although some people haven't responded so warmly to it.
Was offence taken because of the nudity? I mean, was there nudity or was the programme censored?
No, the offence was mostly because of reporter Hayden Jones at his lizardy behaviour. The way he was leering at her and staring at her. In Iran, we would call him kasif, which means because he was sniffing like a pig.
And I understand even the president of Iran has been involved.
Yes, the Iranians are talking so much about this Nikki Watson documentary that the president had to make a comment on his blog. According to him on the website, he says, "The plight of Iran is like the plight of this Nikki Watson woman. Mistrusted, misunderstood, and taken advantage of. A figure of ridicule."
So the nudity wasn't a big issue then, the way she flaunted herself. I mean, she had her nipple pierced.
Because she's a white Western woman, it wasn't so important. Nothing was censored there, but the eyes of the Chihuahua had to be censored because dogs are forbidden in Iran.
You mean Cricket, her dog, Cricket?
Yes, the Chihuahua.
Marsa, is this show seen by Iranians as more evidence of the evils of the West?
No, more evidence as the death of current affairs.
Marsa, thank you.
My pleasure.
Believe it or not, the Nikki Watson documentary is not the first New Zealand television to make it to Iran. In 1979, the Shah visited New Zealand to negotiate a TV for oil deal. And Iran was opened up to Kiwi programs, the only Western television considered tame enough for its Shiite population.
Salam alaikum.
Woolly Valley.
Woolly Valley was the first show to sell, and the Farsi version proved a massive hit.
Arabia, manbar, madar, yaba. Kalmar noa, mashkal kwalawak. Ele mayar, yar farah hamida. Mariar sa, armarkichba. Yakfacht misa ketor. Hotarahak manhan alha kalakal bakshishar.
Still to come, the colourful world of Bob Clarkson. To the autobiography index now, and rich bitch Bailey bites the hand that no longer feeds her. Mark Ellis threatens to join PC Exodus to Gold Coast, Lowy. Wife knife and cocaine for Bishop Brian, Amen. Mad Dog dishes dirt on Dead Man Longy, Jungle Fever. And Deeka's book fails to reach a $1 reserve on Trade Me.
Tell you what, mate, you're a good joker.
Cheers, Bob. And you know what? You're a good joker too.
Nice of you to say so. It just goes to show what a bloody good joker you are.
That's what I like about you, Bob. You're generous to a fault. You're certainly one bloody bastard of a good joker.
Crikey, you're making me all weepy here. Mate, you are truly one fucking bloody bastard of a good joker.
Cheers. You're the best. A proper shit fucking bloody bastard of a good joker.
My oath. You proper shit fucking bloody bastard of a good joker, titty bum wheeze manhole. At the rate we're going, we may as well get married and spend the rest of our lives together.
Piss off, faggot.
And that's our show. Coming up next week, a special investigation into the sometimes mysterious and misunderstood world of mascotry. It's the inside story from inside the arcane world of the furry. From all of us here at Television New Zealand, get at number 68. Great in Farsi, but even better in English. It's Woolly Valley.
Well, turnips are very good. Carrots, silver beet, beans. Yeah, now they don't have to be cooked. Clean air should be the aim of every citizen.
Wally and Beatty saw that they would have to put out their fires and eat raw vegetables all winter.
I did enjoy puffing on my pipe,
said Wally.
I loved a bowl of soup in the evening by the fire,
said Beatty.
No more fires. No more polluting smoke. I'm glad I was here to set you right on that. Well, I'm off.
And so he was. Off to continue his one-man Woolly Valley crusade against the evils of smoke.
This show was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.